You mentioned before, you're a working man, but you're really a family man. And 2020 has been a crazy year, and it doesn't seem to be, at least not anytime soon. Recent Hollywood has lost a beloved actor, a legend himself, a human being, really, in Chadwick Boseman. I know you have 4 sons yourself. How has the passing of Chadwick affected you, but your children as well? And what kind of conversations are you having with them around it?
Chadwick was such a great spirit, a great artist, and it was just so fortunate for him to just shine his light on us for that short period of time of his life. But it was a major impact. I mean, it really hit us hard, hit my family hard, because my children, I have 4 sons, and especially my older 3, they really love Black Panther and what he meant, and the symbolism of a super action hero that looked like them was so important. And for them to, come to the realization that, there won't be a sequel with him, or we won't be able to see him do the other great work that he does, was really impactful, really hurt. But, we are truly the kind of people that like to, celebrate the work done. And what can I say? It really rocked Hollywood. I found myself calling just a bunch of just different friends, people from the past, people that I'm currently working with, people just reaching out, letting people know that I appreciate them, that I see them, and that in these times we need to, stay connected and stay unified as much as we possibly can, and just let people know that, life is not promised tomorrow. And look at Chadwick. No one knew.
Yeah, no one had any idea.
No one do, and he was able to do work after work, no complaining. If that's not an inspiration for a man who was living with something that he knew he was living and still fighting, but found a way to share the best part of himself with the world. It's phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah, he certainly is going to have a legacy of light. I think we're all looking at about all the light he's certainly brought into the world. I think the most compelling thing about your career, however, is that you speak very highly of your upbringing in Chicago, the good and the bad. You talk about very honest and very openly. You highlight the experience of the African-American community, both on film, but also in real life. Can you talk a little bit about the Tate Brothers Foundation for me?
Absolutely. The industry that we're in, I feel like it's part of our duty to, make sure that we bring true experiences to light. And coming from Chicago and also living here in Los Angeles, I've been able to see a lot outside of entertainment, outside of Hollywood. My mother comes from a family of 13 brothers and sisters. My father comes from a family of 8 brothers and sisters. That's not including parents, you know what I mean? So the fact that, we have such a huge family, and the fact that we have seen so many ups and downs, and the things that we're seeing right now when talk about social justice and issues that in the Black community. My brothers and I wanted to do things with our foundation to sort of give back and reach back to those who may not be represented, those who are underrepresented, to sort of help give a voice to the voiceless. We started a foundation that we wanted to look at health, we wanted to look at education, we wanted to look at, the business in terms of the Hollywood community. And so one of the main things that we started out early on was we were advocates of sickle cell disease as it relates to the predominantly African-American community. And there hadn't been a lot of support behind it. So we wanted to cast and shine a light on that. When it came to education, we did a lot of outreach programs where we, traveled to different high schools or middle schools or colleges. And once again, I mentioned that our father is in the education field, so he always encouraged that. Our mother always encouraged us to give back. And so as we, experienced and seeing things with, law enforcement, I wanted to be a part of an initiative here in Los Angeles called Bloom, Building a Lifetime of Options and Opportunities for Young Men of Color. Wow. Because there's a lot of young Black boys who may have a brush with the law very early on when they're 12 or 13. And once they get caught into this system, it's really hard. I mean, it becomes one of those things, especially if they get a felony that is attached to them. But once you become a felon, I mean, you lose so many rights. And it's also, it's one of those badges that unfortunately they walk around with that precedes them. And it's already predetermined that they are somehow criminal, or they are somehow innately inferior, which is a distorted narrative and completely false and untrue. The young boys who make mistakes, like everybody who makes mistakes. I have four children, and I know that they're going to make mistakes. And along the way, we just want to make sure that everyone is, looked out for.
Yeah, you'd hate to see that, the worst mistake of your life being judged for it when you were 13 to decide the rest of your life. It's too tragic a thing, and people change all the time, especially teenagers, as we've all seen from our own experience. So thank you for doing the work. I think it's amazing. Now, last question before I let you go. In the movies and TV shows, the good guys always seem to win, but your character on Power kind of got away with things without paying too harshly for any of his crimes, which I found to be pretty incredible. And I saw that you're potentially getting your own spinoff. What can you tell us?
I'm waiting to hear the word. I was just truly blessed and fortunate to be a part of the Power family. Had no idea that my character would be able to sort of move up the ranks, if you will, and for them to even consider doing a spinoff centered around the councilman character in the political world. And so once I, was speaking to the creators and, the powers that be that wanted to do this, I immediately jumped at the opportunity to say, yes, I'm in, I'm all in. And as things are sort of being rolled out, I'm still waiting to hear and see what's going to happen. I know right now we have Power 2, that book 2 that's out right now. We have, Kanan, which is, 50 Cent's, his character's spinoff. And now we have the Tommy, from what I'm hearing, the Tommy spinoff is happening. So when it comes to the, the political side of things, we're waiting to see what's going to happen with, rolling out the Councilman Tate, or a political show that sort of has the backdrop of New York and what have you. So we'll see. I'm waiting like you, DC. I'm just waiting to see what's happening.
Yeah, man, politics are just not a topic of conversation this year, as we've all seemed to be. They're just, no one cares about it, it seems like. It's not at the forefront and tip of our tongues. Larenz, thank you so much for stopping by. We love you. It was a pleasure speaking to such a legend like yourself. Thank you for doing all the good work. We appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, people. You can watch the re-air of Larenz Tate on Uncensored tonight at 10 p.m. only on TV1.